My name's Paul Wilkes and I'm the FORS Business Services Manager, and I want to talk to you today about how FORS is looking to raise environmental standards and also pick up one or two other questions that we've had raised at a number of events this year. So there's many reasons why companies can choose to go FORS, but I want to focus very much on kind of number 3 in the list of the 5 key ones that we've identified here, and that's around improving fuel efficiency, but also the wider environmental standards that FORS helps to address. So, very much at the start, from a bronze level, we have standards around making sure that you are optimising your routes, making sure that you are undertaking anti-idling campaigns with your drivers. And also, as you then progress on to silver, we look at a 3-step approach whereby you're benchmarking and measuring your level of emissions, that you're then understanding what the trends are and looking at how you can start to address those areas. As you progress on to gold, our top standard, you then have to demonstrate that you have actively reduced your emissions and that you have raised the level of best practice there. And amongst our gold level members, they have on average demonstrated a 10% fuel reduction year on year. But it goes wider than just that. As we look at when we introduced the new standard back in November, we introduced a couple of new requirements at a gold level. One of them was about looking at modal shift and seeing whether or not, as an operation, you can look at alternative ways of moving your freight. So whether that be by water, by rail, bicycle, and also there's a requirement to look at whether or not you can use alternative fuel vehicles. Now we understand that that's not necessarily straightforward for every operator. That's not necessarily something that everybody can do. So at the moment it's just a requirement for each operator to understand whether or not that's relevant or could be undertaken by the operation. So it's not, we aren't saying everybody's got to suddenly switch away from a road fleet, which would be very difficult for a lot of organisations. We also have a requirement in there around noise assessment, so assessing the impact of noise on your operation, and we're getting lots of good feedback around how important that is, especially to a lot of construction and out-of-hours delivery places. And we're providing a number of toolkits and support over the next couple of months around those areas of modal shift, alternative fuel vehicles and noise assessment. As we've been out and about talking to various people, we keep getting asked this question: when is FORS going to go national? And the maps there, this was back in January 2015 and now May 2016. The nice set of measles that are inflicted upon the UK, that's the number of FORS operators that we've got across the UK. So you can see we are already a national scheme. We've got 4,500 members, just over 3,500 at bronze, just over 500 at silver, and about 180 at gold. So really good numbers and some good areas. And actually, we haven't updated the map a year on, but we have seen kind of massive increases, particularly in Northern Ireland and Southern Scotland. The other good question is, what do I get for my money as part of FORS? And as part of what I was saying about the environmental standards piece, we provide a lot of focused training both to managers and drivers to help you understand not only what it is that you need to do to meet the standard, but also what additional best practice looks like. And in the environmental space, we've just introduced a new set of courses in conjunction with Low City for drivers, focused on environmental behaviours and driving styles, and for managers how they can get a firm grip of their level of emissions and what they can do to mitigate these. And there's both classroom and e-learning courses to support that. We also have our well-known FORS practitioner course, a series of 9 courses aimed at fleet managers for them to understand exactly what it is they need to undertake to help them be a best practice fleet manager. And there's one of the modules, one of the half-day workshops, is on fuel management and reducing environmental impact. So there's a lot of really good techniques and tips within that. So good stuff to pick up on. The other question we get around FORS is it the same as clocks? And I could talk for a long time about the difference between, but the key difference, for those of you that may be unclear, is that if you are a construction site and you want to set a quality standard for operators coming onto your work site, you can either specify FORS yourself or you could specify clocks. And clocks is the construction logistics and community safety scheme, and they said they have a set of requirements, and the way as a fleet operator that you meet the clocks requirement is by being FORS Silver. And in fact, the way that we've set the scheme up, the different levels of the scheme align to other sets of requirements. So if you're bronze, then that automatically means that you're covered for the Safer Lorry scheme in London. If you're silver, as I said, that aligns you to clocks, but also to Transport for London's work-related road risk scheme. And at gold, we're starting to see a few operators or a few businesses that are setting gold as a requirement for anybody who wants to do business with them. The new refurbishments at the Houses of Parliament, for example, are one, and amusingly, the Silvertown Tunnel is gone gold. So there are more and more businesses starting to specify those requirements. So that was a bit of a whistle-stop tour through a few bits from me. I just wanted to say thank you for all your time today. There are some key reasons for going to FORS. I think we're well known for our safety requirements, but actually the environmental side of FORS is equally as important, and we do have some strong requirements around that. We do provide some good support to all of our members in achieving that, and we want to help move these and raise the standards even further. So thank you for your time.